When I got LEGO Horizon Adventures for Christmas, I couldn't wait to start playing it. As I loved the first Horizon, and this was a LEGO version of that cool game that promised to be a bit more wacky and crazy, and it looks amazing. But as I started to play it, well, I quickly realised that this is just a really dull game. It's so boring. Honestly, it's so disappointing. The game is just absolutely bland. You literally do the same thing in every single level. Same crappy platforming with a couple of zip lines, and then just the same combat situations with the same robots over and over again. And the story was just boring as well, and I was quickly finding myself just skipping through all of the cutscenes to avoid all the lame jokes that they were doing.
That was embarrassing.
It's annoying because this had the potential to be a great LEGO game, but the game is just so bland, with gameplay about as deep as a drop of water. I guess if it's not Traveller's Tales, then it's just not a good LEGO game, and by the time the credits started to roll, I was pretty much just done with this game and ready to just leave it behind and forget about it. But I still needed one more trophy in order to unlock the Platinum. So sadly I couldn't walk away just yet, as I needed to level up all of my characters to level 20 in order to unlock the last trophy I needed. And seeing as I'd beaten the whole game and pretty much all of the side stuff and still not leveled up a single character, this was going to take me a long time and be a really boring and tedious process of slowly leveling them all up by replaying a bunch of the levels to farm a load of XP off all of the enemies over and over again until I finally unlock this BS trophy.
We've lost.
So yeah, the Super Team Trophy in LEGO Horizon Adventures requires you to maximum level all of the characters in the game, and there are 4 in total that you will play as you play through the game. And one of the weird and slightly annoying bits about this is that some of the characters you'll meet really early on in the game, and whenever you meet a character and they join your crew, they will have a starting level based on whatever level your current character is on. So the first character you meet might start off at level 8 or so, but the final character you meet could well start off at like level 12, 13, maybe even level 15 if you solely played as Aloy. So those characters have a massive advantage over some of the others, so there's a great sort of mismatch in terms of leveling of your characters. So you'll find that some are just really low level while others are fairly high, just based purely on when you unlock them. And the XP that is required to level them up seems to be quite high, because like I said, I had beaten the entire story campaign and done all of the Apex Hunter missions, as well as a bunch of community missions and the like, and I still hadn't leveled up a single character. And I was doing a little trick in the game whereby I was going into the levels with 2 players, leaving one controller idle while I just ran through the level by myself, because that would level up both of the characters. And one of the weird things I found with this XP system was that the player I left to just idle would get more XP than me. So I would be playing through the levels, going through all of the combat encounters, kicking ass with the character I was playing as, hitting all of the enemies with that single character, yet I'd find somehow, some way, the idle character who just sat there for the entire fight seemed to get more XP, because they would always be getting further leveled up than my character, and I don't really know what was going on there, but it was really weird. And because of the lack of content in this game, because the campaign is really short, I feel like the XP levels are just really unbalanced. Like, there's not enough content here to justify the level 20. Really, you should probably only be on like level 10 or so with each character, because then you would probably be able to have done it all by the natural end of the content in the actual game, not letting you just replay missions for no other reason than just to farm more XP. It just doesn't work in my opinion. They're too high up, and the amount of XP you need is too high. It doesn't give you enough while you're naturally playing. Sure, I don't mind leveling up a couple of levels, but when you have characters that are nowhere near level 20, you know something's gone wrong there. Because not everyone will want to play this in 2 players, and not everyone will want to do it like me and just drag another player through it while they're idle either. So it's just really annoying, and it was just a really crappy end to a game that I was already finding boring by having to just play through the expeditions, which you unlock after you beat all of the Apex missions in a area. So it's basically just the level from the story, but there's no story, and you're just going through the same areas again, and like you can go back into that area and do another expedition, but it might take you down another route. But that's basically just what the whole game is. Like each area of the game you'll revisit about 5 times through the story, doing different missions and going slightly different ways through it, and that's all you do. And again, in the expedition mode, it just cuts out all the story stuff. So I was left with about 4 hours or so of me just farming these expedition missions on chapter 2, the mountains one, which is at the top northern area of the hub world, just playing that over and over again to get XP. And some runs I would barely get any XP at all, and then other runs I'd get loads because it would spawn in randomly the corrupted machines, which would just give me even more XP. And even when I was playing through this game just as the story, I knew there was a problem with the XP, so I was deliberately leveling up the characters to unlock all of the XP boosting abilities, and even then I still finished the game with characters around level 15 or lower, and none of them were level 20. So yeah, I just think it's just too much, and it just kind of ruined an already boring experience by making me grind even more for these level 20s when there's no need to be level 20. There's nothing to do in this game after you beat the story. There's no challenge. It's not like when you level up the enemies get stronger or anything either, so the whole leveling system just seemed a bit pointless to me, to be honest. And that's kind of how I feel about this whole game. It's just pointless. Like, why does this even exist, and who are they going for with this, and what did they think of the gameplay? Because it's just so one note. You could play one level of this game and you've experienced most of the game, bar like unlocking some of the other weapons. You've pretty much done everything you're going to be doing in the levels, and it's just dull. And this trophy just made it even worse of a grind and even more of a tedious platinum than it already was, which is why the Super Team trophy in LEGO Horizon Adventures gets a BS trophy rating of